been like, of course, obviously, you know. He never acted that surprised over anything. I feel like I was always more surprised than things, but Jay Feather just kind of took it as it came. You know, we sort of thought about something like that because of the way that Lion plays. That's his. Yeah, but that's what's his ancient.
Lion's Roar.
Lion's Roar. Like I sort of was like, oh, should it be even more apparent? Like it was sort of all kind of, you know, I don't know. I feel like knowing Jay Feather, he would just have accepted it. He was pretty cranky about things, but he was also pretty good about being like, all right, I get it, I guess, you know. Yeah.
There's like 2 Sauls in the Sky Clan, like the Sky Clan
manga.
Comic
Yeah.
book, series.
Why do you think that's a different Saul?
Wait, how would he be different? I mean, how would he be the same? Because Sky Clan, from like after Sky Clan left. Oh, because he said he met Cats in the Gorge. Oh, yeah, he is the same Saul then.
Yeah, he's the same Saul. He's the same Saul causing trouble in so many books.
He also took Leaf Star's kids.
Yeah,
He did?
but they got back. It's okay.
Wait, where? Which book?
She was like.
Is in the manga.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Sky Clan and the Stranger manga. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Why hasn't Warriors, like, mostly in the beginning series, why hasn't it focused on different clans? It always, like...
It's all Thunder Clan?
Yeah, it's like all Thunder Clans.
We're like all Thunder Clan all the time. It's more, so as we were sort of writing the initial books, it was really, we were very focused on setting up the world. And I think it would have been harder to set up the world if we'd gone in between different clans.
Yeah.
And we stayed in Thunder Clan because that was sort of, I mean, it was like our base. It was our home base and it was very solid. But that's why it's been so much fun. If you see the super editions, pretty much most of the super editions are in different clans. And that's how you can see how the different clans live and the different cats in the different clans. I mean, that's what I love. That's how I realized that I loved Wind Clan so much with Tall Star's Revenge. I was like, oh, Wind Clan they've got it right. I like them.
And also, why is Thunder Clan always like the biggest clan, but they have like the most cats dying?
Yeah.
I think they just seem like the biggest clan because we are in their perspective. I think that if any of the books had been written from another clan's perspective, they would have seemed as big. And a lot of the reason why, you might also be judging by the allegiances list in the beginning.
Yeah, that's what
They're more
it's more, yeah, it's
they're not always
exactly.
updated because like in the one that I'm in, you haven't put in like Sorrel. It's still Sorrel Paw instead of Sorrel Tail in the second book.
So we, A, sometimes there are mistakes, and B, when the way that the allegiances are, it's literally the cats as they are on page 1 of that book. So if a book starts and Sorrel Paw is Sorrel Paw, but she becomes a warrior on page 2, she is Sorrel Paw in the allegiances because she is Sorrel Paw on page 1.
Because
so
don't want to spoil it.
That's how it is. It's always very much like the allegiances only match exactly as the book starts. But really you have to think, we don't flesh out the allegiances list except for the clan whose perspective we're in. So if you're reading Yellowfang's Secret, the Shadow Clan cast list in that, because it takes place in Shadow Clan, is long. I think it's longer than the rest. Or it's at least longer than, probably Thunder Clan in that book is just as long, but it's at least longer than River Clan. So, yeah.
How did you come up with like the 2 legs, upwalkers, and nofers?
Yeah.
It's more just, what do we think they would call them? What would they focus on the most? And it was sort of more like that. What would Purdy call a human? What would they do? That's always so much fun. Like when we started Survivors, we were like, what's the human name gonna be? What are they gonna call them? And they call them long paws. Their paws are long. Yeah.
I've got 2.
Okay.
One is there ever gonna be a super edition for Red Tail?
You
Or-
really
yeah,
want more
yeah,
super
yeah.
editions. I'm getting that impression. At this point, all I can tell you is we have Moth Flight's Vision coming out next year, and beyond that, we don't yet have any planned. We will have more. I'm, 98% sure that we will have more, but we don't have anything else planned. So that's all I can say right now. And I can take 3 more questions.
I heard that Ravenpaw is going to get an ebook.
Ravenpaw is going to get his own novella. Yes.
Oh, in like one of those three.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna buy it.
I do not know when it is coming. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't think we have a title yet. The next one that's getting written is about Goosefeather.
Well, do you know
What are
if
the other ones in it? Goosefeather and
We've got so guys, this is where it's going to tax my brain. So we have Maple Shade's Vengeance, which is coming out pretty soon, about Maple Shade's backstory. And I think in that group of 3, although honestly, I'm going to say this to you, and if I am misremembering, just chalk it up to there's a lot of things happening and sometimes I get things wrong. I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, it's going to be Maple Shade, it's going to be Goosefeather, and it's going to be Ravenpaw.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure I'm speaking correctly, but again, if I end up being wrong, just chalk it up to a tired brain. Yeah, and I think I have time for you and another one from you, and then I think I'm done. So yeah.
This isn't actually a question,
Oh.
but
All right.
in the Ultimate Warriors Guide,
Mhm.
you know how they have pictures of all the cats?
Mhm.
On the picture of Hollyleaf had amber eyes.
Instead of green eyes.
Yeah.
All I can say to that is that sometimes we make mistakes, and it's been interesting. One thing that we are doing is we're actually, and maybe you guys already know this, we are repackaging the Warriors books, which means that the paperbacks, we are giving them brand new covers starting next year, starting with the first series. And as we do that, so it's not just putting new covers on books. We have to again go through all of the books, read them through, make sure there are no mistakes, update anything that needs to be updating, adding new teasers, everything. Because you guys probably have noticed in the earlier books, you know how there's the listing of the other books in the series in the front. If you have one of the earlier books, it probably only lists 3 or 4 books. If you get one of the later books, it has all of the books. So what we're doing as we're doing this is we're sort of updating everything, which means we're also reading through the books. And you probably wouldn't be surprised because you guys have a really, really, really good eye for this, but there are so many moments where we catch wrong eye colors and wrong pelt colors. And it's really just a matter of there's so much happening and sometimes mistakes slip through. When I tell you there are so many people who read these manuscripts when we are doing them and still mistakes slip through, it's just, we love hearing from you guys when you point out a mistake because we need that, but just as long as you guys remember that a lot of us try to catch every mistake, and sometimes honestly, a lot of cats, I do have it like firmly implanted in my mind what eye color they have, but not every cat. And Cherith is actually the Erin Hunter who is like the best at remembering exactly who belongs to who and what eye color they have, and she is. I would like to think that I have a really, really strong memory for all of it, and I have a pretty good memory, but things definitely slip through.
I
Sorry,
get what you mean, because there's so many cats dying and being born, and there's just so many cats.
I know, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. We try our best. We do try our best. And yeah, last question.
Okay, how did Deadfoot die?
Oh yeah, how did he die?
How did Deadfoot die?
I I do not know.
Because in
I
Tolstoy's
don't know. You're
Revenge,
stumping me on my last question.
Because in Tolstoy's Revenge, he was alive, and then in a different book that was right after Tolstoy's Revenge, he was dead.
Yeah, like it's
Natural causes?
I
I do not know. I will chuck that in the I don't know column, and it could be that we just didn't include him in the next book and we just have to assume he died. Maybe he just, maybe he fell down a tunnel. He fell and hit his head. You could make up a story. I fully approve. Any way that you want to make Deadfoot die, we can say that's how he died.
Adult question?
Yes, I guess it's time for one more adult question.
For a clueless adult, what are the super editions?
So the super editions are, yes, hold them up. There are a few here. They are sort of standalone, extra long. So they're extra long. Yeah, they sort of tell like background information
Just
on
for one cat?
One cat. They focus on one cat. It's kind of like it fills in the background and the backstory on certain cats, and they are just extra long and they stand alone. So you can read them. A lot of them kind of a little bit go along with an arc, but they just supplement the arc. You can kind of read them at any point, but sometimes there are certain places in which they can fall where then they sort of supplement. You've read the arc and then you read Blue Star's Prophecy. You read the first arc and then you read Blue Star's Prophecy and you kind of understand why she did certain things. It's sort of like that.
And we missed the beginning. Can you just say again who you are and because my
Sure.
daughter told me that Aaron Hunter is more than one author.
Yes, absolutely, super quickly. So Aaron Hunter is actually 6 people, and there's not one real Aaron Hunter. I'm the editor, so I edit all of the series, and I just kind of edit every book in every Aaron Hunter series, and I kind of edit every stage of it too. So from the storylining to the actual manuscript and everything in between. So I'm sort of involved with them, and I work with them.
Are you the only editor?
I am the only editor. Yeah, but there are a lot of errands, it
Where did
works
that,
out.
so they just came
But
up
that's
with
how
a
I don't
name?
know why Deadfoot died.
Nice.
So I think we have, we can sign books if you guys have books. Although I just realized I don't
If
think
I wanted to get
Oh,
some
there's
sort
that.
of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and
Um,
We do have lots of books available at the front counter. Don't look for them in the section. They've all been pulled up to the front counter.
Go.
Yeah.